And hello, everyone, and welcome to the PumpkinCopter cast, a good old podcast about video games. Today, I have a guest.
What's going on, my friend?
And my guest happens to be.
I'm Big Al Dente from Nobi Noodle, the cosplay experts over on YouTube. Good to be here, guy.
Thank you. And I'm Taylorman83, the host of this aggressively mediocre YouTube enterprise. And so, let's just get started. Mr. The Big Al Dente, can you perhaps tell us a bit about yourself and what you're all about?
I can do that. I would be happy to. So, Big Al Dente coming at you. We are a cosplay group, the Nobi Noodle cosplay experts. You can hit us up on YouTube. We do cosplay. We make costumes of characters and all that good stuff. Well, be it from video games, anime, comics, other pulp culture. You name it, we've probably done something like that. And I'm the video game side, so my buddy Nobi Noodle, he's the anime buff, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm not terribly big into anime. I used to be, and it just it got old. If you've liked one anime, you've liked them all. And I was always into video games, and that, luckily enough, is an ever evolving medium where anime just kind of feels stale all the time, and it's always treading familiar ground. Video games aren't afraid to go out and do a little something different, and I think that's why I stuck around with that as my hobby. And now for our channel, I'm doing most of the video game stuff. I'm also on Twitch, about twittering about video games, mainly in general. Yeah.
So, since you are the video game person in your particular group, perhaps you can tell me and my -7 listeners what exactly is the game that made you go, oh, video games too? Oh, video games.
Oh, video games. Let's see. I think I wasn't really adamant about pursuing it as a hobby until around the Nintendo 64. Like, I had a Sega Genesis as my first system. I enjoyed the Sonics and the Rise Stars and the Fantasy Stars and all that good stuff. But I think it was like Banjo Kazooie on the Nintendo 64 that made me go, you know what? These might be a little more fun than I thought. And then it's been a downhill spiral from there. I think my two favorite games, Skies of Arcadia for the GameCube and Persona 3 FES for the PlayStation 2. Like, I'll go back to those every now and then and just relive the glory days. But those two titles in particular are kind of like the reasons I'm cemented into gaming for life.
I remember the video game that made me realize that video games were not just a thing I do, but a huge, like, fiery passion of mine was the Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door, which
Oh,
still remember to this day as a present I got when I was 13.
good stuff, man. That is a quality game. I never really got into the first one, but it hit all the points.
The first one was also really all of the Paper Mario games, past and present, just because the Mario game. I found that the Mario RPGs, especially, they have this weird mix of, like, it's regular Mario goofiness, and sometimes it goes into how is this ever allowed in a kid's game? Like, even though it's a fairly old game, I don't want to give away the ending to Thousand Year Door, but
Mm.
when I first encountered the ending, and those -12 of you out there who've played that game know what I'm talking about, it genuinely just terrifying. Well, it didn't straight up make me scream, but it was just incredibly unnerving because of the drastic shift in tone, and that was, I think, one of the reasons it stuck with me.
Yeah, it, wow, I don't even know where to begin. That game was, there's a little something for everybody in that game, and it showed. And yeah, the the drastic tone change, I think, is what kept me sticking around, because it felt more of the same in the beginning, but as you went on, just stuff happened with different characters on the side that you're just like, I want to keep playing. I want to find out what happens to them. And it just got weirder and darker. And I'm like, I like this. This is different. This is not what I signed up for. And I don't think I've liked a Paper Mario since. I feel like they've all been these just mediocre tries to live up to that game.
Eh.
And just, I don't know. They all feel so hollow. I feel like they spoiled us with Thousand Year Door, and to play anymore, it's empty. You wonder what happened. Where'd the magic go?
Yeah, well, I disagree with you there, but I can see where you're coming from. But and again, I'm just a sucker for all of them.
Fair enough. Not saying you had to agree with me, but I don't know. It's just there's something missing in the rest. Don't know what it is. I wish I could tell you. It'd be easier for me. Just be like, this is why you're wrong. But no, I won't. I'm not gonna do that.
Considering all the news surrounding Nintendo recently, that unknowable thing that's missing could just come right back and punch us all in the face.
Indeed. Very quickly and without warning. It could do that.
Let's see. So, just before we get to the big topic, so how exactly did you become officially affiliated with Nobi Noodle? Did you have like personal connections to the guy who started it all, or did it start as a business thing?
So Nobi Noodle goes back 6 years ago. I was at a convention and I was cosplaying a character from Gurren Lagann, and there was this kid at this small convention who was also cosplaying a character from it. He was the younger Simone. I don't know if you're familiar with the show,
but he watched the whole thing.
You have? Okay, well, he was Simone the Digger, and I was Kamina, and seemingly
stupid Kamina.
Indeed. Seemingly out of nowhere, he jumps on my back. He calls me Aniki, and the rest is history. So we've been friends ever since. I literally had no idea who this kid was beforehand, and he just hops on my back, and we've been the closest of friends since. And he came to me one day, I want to say like a week after we had met, and we were discussing what we had done in school, and I told him, I went for graphic design and animation, and I dabbled in film. And he goes, oh, really? Because I have a YouTube channel and it's not going anywhere and I think it sucks. Is there any way you can help me like pick it back up and make it something better? And I showed him what I could do. I'm familiar with Adobe After Effects and just my way around a camera. And we shot something involving PewDiePie because that's what he wanted to do. And I wowed him, and that's how that stuck. We've been doing that since then. So we've been doing Nobi Noodle for about as long as we've been friends.
Neat.
Good stuff. Good times.
Yeah, we'll move on to the thing I've been physically craving to talk about ever since you showed up at my place of employment not too long ago. You seem to be the man in charge of the business mobile gaming truck. For the negative 17 people out there listening, can you explain what that is?
Okay, so despite what you may think, I'm not actually the boss. I'm the right hand.
Oh.
My boss is actually a city councilman for the city that we live in, and he bought this trailer from a company that was going under, and he kept it alive because he wanted to just kind of do something fun, like have a boring job and a fun job. Granted, he doesn't do a whole lot when it comes to the truck. He just kind of oversees everything. I'm the fun guy. I get to, make sure everything's working, and I head on out to these places and I don my fanciful rainbow wig and I turn on the trailer, and video game greatness happens in your face at your doorstep. It's a giant converted trailer turned video game theater, 5 50-inch television screens inside, 2 outside, PlayStation 4, Wii U, Xbox One, 4 controllers, up to 32 players maximum. Huge library of games. We literally bring the party to your door. We have a good time.
So, let's
Take
see.
all that in. Just take it in for a second.
Drinking it all in. So, all right. Why do you think that a giant gaming truck full of TVs and all manner of video game systems, why do you personally think that, hey, this is a good thing that should exist?
Well, numerous reasons. So, I mean, any kid can just invite friends over and they can go to like Chuck E. Cheese or whatever. Or they can have a cake, or they can whack a pinata or whatever. It's, traditional birthday stuff. But when you're looking to mix it up, or you're looking to have a party and entertain a huge chunk of people at once without them tracking mud through your house, you give us a call. And we take care of all that for you because they're dirtying my trailer as opposed to your house. And parents are thankful for that. And kids are too zombified to care. You put them in front of a TV that large with a surround sound system and laser lights. If they go outside afterwards, they're going to start hissing because it's too bright. And they won't want to go and do anything else. And the parents are just like, so this is also a babysitting service, right? I can leave them in here and I can go inside and enjoy the peace and quiet, right? No, it's not really how that works. And then they're gone. So then they become my problem. And then I give them Minecraft and then they just kind of forget I'm there until the rainbow afro says, take off your shoes before you sit on the second layer.
So
it's pretty eventful, if I do say so myself.
that sounds eventful.
It requires a vast knowledge of video game because there are so many games in that trailer that I do not play personally. I won't go out of my way and play Madden NFL or Call of Duty. So I still need to have the FaceTime with all these games to be able to help someone if they need it. And we have an ever-growing library. I think we're close to 200 titles in total throughout all of our trailers. We have 3 of those.
Damn.
So, yeah, it's, you buy the game, you sit down with the game, you install the game. And by install the game, I mean wait 2 freaking hours for, Cartoon Network Battle Crashers to finish installing on your Xbox. And you wonder, why you're still here. And then when that's all done, you need to figure out the controls, the basics of the game. And when it comes to deeper stuff like Minecraft, obviously, you don't want to sit there and figure out how the feck to make an ender portal. You just Google that nonsense. But there's a lot that goes into it. It looks fairly straightforward on the outside, but there's a surprising amount of work that goes into making that trailer fit to show up at your doorstep, because even the slightest thing that goes wrong can really screw your day. And, sometimes you got to reschedule because there's nothing you can do or something breaks. It's a lot of work.
Sounds like something as expensive as that would be.
Oh yeah, we don't even want to talk about numbers. The numbers would make your wallet cry, and you don't even work for it. So. Thinking about it makes me want to throw mine into the trash. Whoo, boy. Indeed. Are you speechless?
No.
Still taking it all in there?
Yeah, so when exactly did the mobile gaming truck become like a viable thing? Did it gain like a huge amount of interest right away, or did you and everyone associated with it really have to put in the time?
So I'm assuming that company that he bought the trailer from was going out of business for a reason, but when he had hired me on, his business formula was almost archaic. and he had like no social media presence, and he didn't have the basic understanding of most of the games that he had, and it was only him and one other person. So getting around for them with that one trailer was hard. He brought me on, and I was able to just kind of help them pick it up. We started doing laser tag as well. So instead of just being the video game truck, we're more like the entertainment truck. So we have a little something for everybody. We launched him on Facebook. We're also on Twitter and Instagram. Excuse me. We started investing in the second trailer, which really took everything off. He got an office. We're up to a third trailer now, looking into a fourth. Word of mouth, I think, was the biggest thing, because once I had redesigned a flyer with a gimmick that was also a coupon, and we just went out to these places and just started chumming it up, having a good time with kids and adults alike. Word of mouth spread quickly, and they found us on social media. And next thing you know, we're putting in 12-hour days on Saturdays because everybody wants to hang with the UMG crew. It's humbling, but at the same time, it was, from what I can tell, really struggling in the beginning, and I'm glad it's found its footing finally, and people are booking us during snowstorms because little Timmy has had his 10th birthday party snowed out, and there's nothing for them to do. And then they call us, and we fear that we're going to crash in a snowstorm. But we'll do it for Timmy if we have to.
I better fucking appreciate this, Timmy.
Yeah, seriously. I died for you today, Timmy. A part of me died for you. Now pick up that controller and go play Minecraft. God damn it. But we're fairly popular in all seasons. Winter and summer are our best seasons. Summer for obvious reasons, but winter there's like literally nothing else to do because it's too cold. But we have central air and central heat in that thing, so we fit the climate to suit our needs. And it's not like you're going to remember what temperature it is outside anyway, because you'd be in there so long. Just like, oh yeah, it was 10 degrees out here. I left my coat inside. Why'd I do that? Yikes.
So when you go to like what is an average size party or function for you guys? And you bust out all the games, is there a specific game that's your go-to game, or do you just give them a whole platter full and just let them pick and choose like hors d'oeuvres?
Well, I did say earlier that we have close to 200 titles, but we have a top 5, and these games are usually the ones that folks ask for by name when they're booking with us. Usually we're asked for Mario Kart 8, Super Smash Brothers for Wii U, Madden NFL 17, Call of Duty Black Ops 3, and Minecraft. Those are like the ultimate, like the crowd pleasers. Everybody wants to play those games, so at least one of them will be on our roster. And if you get bored of the game that you chose, you hit me up, and I've got this big old book filled with all the games for that one trailer, and I can pop in something different, provided everybody agrees on the title. So, up-and-comers like Rocket League, Injustice, because everybody's getting excited for the second one.
Yeah.
NBA 2K17, Star Wars Battlefront. Those are some of the other ones that are usually asked for. Oh no, you had a second part to that, and I forgot what it was.
I forgot to.
Oh no.
So let's see.
It's 10:30, and I recently just got home from a 12-hour shift, so like, you can't blame me.
I don't really believe in thinking a lot and remembering things.
I remembered it. It was the size of the party. Usually, we inform people that we can fit up to 32 people maximum, but usually it's never more than 20. So it keeps me on my toes, but it's also a lot more refreshing to deal with 20 kids than 32. But then we go to the public events like the President's Day event over in Quincy that happened recently, where instead of dealing with 20 kids, I'm dealing with 200 and having to have a set time limit on the games to keep everybody rotated and happy.
Oh
So
dear.
it's a shot. Yeah, we do little events, we do big events. We don't carry a reason. We just want to come and have a good time. One of my favorite stories to tell is that one of the first parties my boss had ever done was for a funeral,
Oh.
and and I've never encountered anything like that during my time here. But he said that they had him show up to a funeral to keep the kids occupied while the open casket service was being held. And I'm like, that's really macabre. But
Oh
hey,
dear.
if they wanted it, you know, we don't care the reason. You give us some cash, and we'll make sure everybody has fun. It's our job.
Must have been a day of conflicting feelings.
Yeah, I can't imagine how that went, and I try not to because it would just leave me feeling very weird, to say the least. Don't know how I would go about processing those feelings.
Hmm. So just to get away from the fact that this event apparently happened at a funeral. I Something else that's been gnawing at my brain is was there a has there been a specific moment where just you had to go through a whole bunch of nonsense to make it to an event, but for whatever reason something happened there that made you go, this has been totally worth it, despite the fact that it doesn't feel like it should be.
Um, hmm. I think I have an instance for each of those, but I don't know if I have an instance of them together. I think I could. I think I got one. So this thing, it's a massive rig. It's a 9,000 pound trailer, and it's like 5 car lengths long. It's huge,
God.
and our biggest customer is Boston.
Oh.
So driving that giant behemoth down crowded city streets with cars parked on both sides is a nightmare, to say the least. And, folks from Dorchester are just like, oh, you can make this super tight turn down this narrow street. No problem. I work for an 18-wheeler company, and I do it all the time. And I go, that's a funny joke, mister. Especially during winter in Boston, because plowing out there is terrible, and they usually just shove the snow to the sides of the street. But the cars are so persistent on parking on the sides of the street anyway that you'll just see cars on top of mountains of snow, and it's really concerning. I don't know how you're going to get down in the morning, buddy, but more power to you for trying. I was at an event that had exactly that happen, where there was snow everywhere in Dorchester Center with cars on snow. And when I got there, they had not cleared the cars or the snow, and I assumed that they were just going to have me sit in the street and have the kids come into the middle of the street to get to my trailer. And that was very concerning, because there's a lot of traffic out in Boston. They don't appreciate it when they can't get to where they need to be.
They really don't.
Especially if you're the problem. So I thought I was screwed. Their party had, it was just getting ready to start. And I haven't even hopped out of my truck to start turning everything on. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know what you want me to do. Nothing is shoveled, and I don't have a place to park. So the mom calls out the army of kids who's about to come and play in this trailer, and she sends them all out with a shovel. And I'm not sure how she got 14 snow shovels, but they each had one, and they quickly dug a place for me to park. And I hopped out to help them. It turns out that at some point my phone had fallen out of my pocket, and
Oh.
somebody ran over it, and that was very sad. But I had done such a good job keeping everybody entertained at the party that they had tipped me generously, and that was a first, because Boston it's not really the place you get tipped.
Yeah.
And their generous fundage was able to help tip a scale for me to go and obtain a new phone so I could find my way to my next party the next day, because that's my GPS. And if I can't navigate my way to your house, then you don't get a party. So it all worked out. There you go. I think that was a good answer.
It's a very good story.
It's good karma. You pay it forward. If someone does something good for you, you pay it forward. So I was able to give them a really fun birthday party, and they were able to help me get a new phone. So it was good stuff. I appreciate them, and I appreciate everybody I see every day, smiling faces, and kids saying that Jigglypuff is way better than Dark Pit and Smash Brothers makes me really happy.
They're not wrong.
They are very not wrong. Jigglypuff is tough stuff. You don't mess with the puff.
It's true. She'll draw on your face.
She will rest you into oblivion. Rest in pieces, my friend.
So it sounds like the mobile gaming truck is quite a bright future ahead of it, and this pretty bright present, from what your stories are telling me.
Yeah, it's always a treat. It's always an adventure, and it sure beats sitting at a desk. My office is the truck. And I look out the window every day, and I'm somewhere different.
It does sound pretty good from time to time.
Oh yeah, change of scenery is always nice, especially when you have a sweet controller to help you through the boring parts. Sit there and play a game.
Sounds like it would be a big help.
Oh yeah, just a little. We're looking into the Nintendo Switch right now. It just came out. I have one of my own. Good system. We're trying to see if it's going to be a good fit for the trailer. We're also looking into PlayStation VR. So if you're listening to this, all you negative listeners, and you feel like you want to hang with us someday and you're not sure, or you haven't played the Switch or some VR, know that we're looking at that. And, if you want to find a quick, easy way to have a good time with your buddies, and you don't have, 5 TVs in your living room, give us a call.
Never have I physically needed something until I saw all the commercials for the Switch.
It is wonderful. Like, it's one thing to look at it, but it's a completely different thing to have it in your hands. I'm sure you're familiar with the Wii U and the Wii nunchuck combination, but nothing feels better to me than just taking both Joy-Con controllers and, crossing my arms and not having to worry about wires and just sitting down and playing some Breath of the Wild. It feels great. Like those Joy-Cons they look tiny, and they are tiny. They're not as small as you think. And when you just start using them, it just feels really good. Like I can't. I wish I could explain it better, but you really have to try it yourself to just kind of get the feeling I'm trying to portray.
There's one more reason I need to physically own one as soon as possible.
Yes, you should. And then if you don't have one, and you guys see us again, you can enjoy some 8-player Bomberman on Nintendo Switch.
Oh,
through us. Good time.
What a way to destroy a friendship.
Oh, for real. Like Nobi and I were playing it just last night, actually, and we both got really upset at each other and the computer players because Red Bomberman cheats. He's a dirty cheater. Feeling some hype. It's a good feeling. I don't know. The magic wasn't quite there with the last couple systems, and I eventually got them, but the Switch was the first system in a long time to make me say, crud, I want one on launch. It feels like a love letter to Nintendo fans, really. They're sure it has some problems, but it's a very quality system, and I would recommend it to anyone who's curious.
Well, now I can look forward to silently crying over the fact that I don't currently own one.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's fine. I've had that feeling for like weeks.
Time to sell
And,
some stuff.
oh, probably. And with that, I believe we are at the conclusion of this charade masquerading as something even close to professional. So this has been the PumpkinCopter cast with your, I guess, host T Gorman 83 and my
I guess.
hostage, I mean, willing guest
Somebody help.
Binch Al Dente
That's me.
of Noby Noodle and the mobile gaming truck, and for you negative 37 of you out there listening to this, I hope you enjoyed it. You know, like, rate, rate, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Check out nobynoodle.com and the mobile gaming truck. Hopefully, by the time you're listening to this on the YouTubes, the links will be in the description.
Oh yeah.
Follow me on Twitter at tgorman83. And do you have a Twitter, sir?
Oh yes, yes, I do have a Twitter. You can follow me over at brosona3 FES, and my buddy Noby Noodle has one as well at Noby Noodle. Oddly enough, I'm not sure where he came up with that one.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, Facebook, all that good nonsense. If you're on social media, we're there too. And then Ultimate Mobile Gaming over on Facebook. We use Facebook the most, but you can also find us on Twitter and Instagram.
And with that, we will see you later. Well, I'll see you later. He'll probably be off doing something.
Playing more games,
Yep.
telling more kids I don't know how to build the Ender Portal. You know how it goes.
I do actually.
So there you go.
And with that, we will see all of you next time.
Take care.